What's up, fellow troubadours? So I'm not exactly a country guy, in case my New York accent didn't already give it away. I didn't grow up with trucks, dirt roads, or whiskey at sunrise. I'm a city kid, and where I grew up, country music just wasn't on the radar, other than my grandfather singing Hank Williams tunes down in the basement while fixing busted television sets. You know, back when people actually fixed television sets instead of just tossing them out and buying a new one. That said, it's obviously great music. And modern country, while still a little bit outside my usual wheelhouse, has gotten way more relatable. Not just for me, but more importantly, for my audience, even here in the Big Apple. So lately, I've been adding some country-flavored songs to my acoustic set. And honestly, I think I'm starting to get it. And I think it might be a good idea, if you haven't already added some country, for you to do the same. A lot of modern country is beautifully written, super melodic, and it really connects with people. And that's what I care about when I'm performing. So today I'll walk you through the two that I've already added so far. See, spoiler alert, there isn't three, because I really could use your help finding a third. Yeah, I don't actually have that one yet. The challenge for me is to find country songs that I can relate to so that I don't feel disingenuous when I play it. So if you've got a favorite modern country tune that works in a solo acoustic setting, drop it down in the comments. Who knows? I might even feature it in part 2 of this video and give you some credit for it. Okay, I'm going to get into the songs in just a bit, but before I do, please smash that like and subscribe to this channel if you like content like this. And if you wish to support, you can join my Patreon, buy me a coffee, or browse my Amazon affiliate links. And feel free to email me if you want a one-on-one lesson or coaching. And please feel free also to download my entire PDF setlist for free. There is a link down in the description, as well as all of the other links that I just mentioned. Okay, so let's get going. Song 1 is Starting Over by Chris Stapleton. I gotta be honest, I heard somebody playing it at an open mic a couple weeks ago here in the city, and I'm like, oh man, and I love that song. I always love that song. I love Chris Stapleton. How could you not? And I'm going, why didn't I think to cover that song? So I basically started learning that song, and the reason I love it is because it's very soulful. It's a great tune. It sounds really, really good stripped down with just an acoustic guitar, and it's really, really easy to connect with. Anyone can connect with the story in this song. It's not like a country type story, and I gotta tell you, I've been playing it, and it goes over really, really well. Okay, the song is in B flat, and it's centered around a G-shaped chord. I'm capoed on the 4th fret, and I'm playing it in what is B on my guitar, because my guitar is tuned down a half step. The reason I have my guitar tuned down a half step, not only because I tune my guitar down at gigs, but because the song I'm going to do after this is tuned down a half step. So I'm capoed on 4. You could capo it on 3 if you want to do it in Chris Stapleton's original key. It's centered around a G-shaped chord, so the song would be in G in terms of the capo, right? And I'm fingering the G like this, with my 3rd finger on the low E string 3rd fret, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, pinky on the high E string 3rd fret, so I could, because it has this sus kind of chord going on. Then it goes to the C chord, right? I'm keeping that pinky down here because we have a lot of higher guitar parts. I don't even know if it's a mandolin maybe even worked in there, where you're hearing this high note ring out. So I'm playing the C chord like this, just dropping these 2 down, right? And we're hammering on the C chord from a C major 7th chord, and you'll hear that happen a lot. So hammer on the sus, pulls off back and forth between the C major and the C major 7th. So, well, the road rolls out like a welcome mat, right, to a better place than the one we're at. I ain't got no, then it's a D chord but he's starting it as a D sus2 and hammering on the 2nd fret. I ain't got no kind of plan. And he pulls it back off. But I'm head over this town, I understand. I got friends out on the coast. Okay? So that's basically the chords for the verse. Alright? Listen to the record. They're very easy chords. You can play along with the record, and you will get the phrasing or how you want to do it. You don't have to do it exactly like the record. You know, do it your way, but that's the chords. Now, before I get into the "It Don't Matter to Me," the chorus, let's talk a little bit about the vocal, because it does tend to get kind of high, right? I got friends out on the coast, on the coast, on the coast. Chris Stapleton has a really uncanny ability to have a rich, husky voice, but also a pretty good range. Now, obviously, if that's too high for you, you can capo it down, right? But just let's talk a little bit, while I got you here, about some decent vocal technique. I haven't warmed up today, which is a no-no. You should warm up every day so that you're not pushing for those notes. But, you know, as long as you're starting out not with your head cocked forward. You always see me kind of give students, if you called me up for coaching, you'll often hear me get on your case if you're doing that, right? So we'll keep our head back and release like a neutral position. On the coast, on the coast. All right, you want to make sure you're opening up your mouth, you're relaxed, your jaw's relaxed, right? You're not tense. I got friends out on the coast. The tension tends to build as we're going higher, right? I got friends out. People tend to squeeze because they know, I'm heading up. They paint themselves into a corner. So we want to make sure that we're thinking. This is just a really quick rundown here. It's not a full in-depth how-to lesson on singing this, obviously, but in general, you just want to think as you're approaching that high note to kind of reset. Make sure your neck is reset, and maybe even take a little pause before you hit that high note. I got friends out on the coast. I got friends out on the coast. When you're practicing, this way you can imagine that you're resetting. I got friends out on the coast. On the coast, and you can even on the coast make it a little bit easier if you sweep into it instead of trying to hit that note direct if you don't quite have it yet. Okay, let me not get too bogged down with vocal technique, but just a little something. If that's what's keeping you from doing this song, then that's something you could work on. It might make this song doable to you when you're telling yourself, oh, I can't do this song. Yes, you can. Okay, chorus. It don't matter to me. Wherever we are is where I want to be. Awesome chorus. Only for once in our life, take our chances and roll the dice. E minor, it don't. D with an F sharp in the bottom, matter to me. G. Wherever we are, C is where I, back to the D with the F sharp, wanna be. It don't matter to me. Wherever we are is where I wanna be. Money for once in our life, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I will be your lucky penny, D. You will be my four-leaf clover, C. That's C major 7. Right? I will be your lucky penny. You will be my four-leaf clover, starting over. That's pretty much the whole song. You've got this little interlude, A minor, E minor, G, A minor, E minor, D. It hangs there for 2 times around. Back to the chorus. It don't matter to me. And then the outro, just on a G chord. Nice falsetto. right? That is the whole song. Nice and easy, fun to sing. Audiences love it. I wish I could find another one like that. Leave it down in the description if you have one. Next song. We've got a Luke Combs song. And Luke Combs, man, what a stud. This young guy is just killing it, and rightfully so. I'm going to get a sip of coffee. Everyone always asks, Frank, what are you drinking in these videos? Don't get excited. It's just iced coffee. I love coffee. Okay. Luke Combs, Where the Wild Things Are. Okay? It's in the key of E. And he's tuned down a half step, which is why I have my guitar tuned down a half step for this lesson. Great song. It's got a country thing going on, of course. It's Luke Combs. But it's really, really relatable as well. And look, you could sing country tunes that are about more of those stereotypical country things. And I guess I could too. I don't know. I try to stick with songs that I feel kind of I can relate to in a more first-hand kind of way. But that's today. That could change as time goes on. Okay. And this is a fairly recent find for me. I love the storytelling in this song. It's got a good little twist at the end. It's a really, really good song to put in there. People, again, the young kids love this song. Kids in their 20s, early 30s, they know this stuff, okay? This is really modern stuff. And if you don't want to do a lot of the more electronic music in order to stay modern, this new country is a really great way to do it. So, okay, let's get into a little bit about this song. And it's like I said, in E. My big brother rode an Indian scout to A. Black like his jacket, American spirit hanging out of his mouth. Now, Luke Combs has a kind of a typical deep kind of voice, right? And listen, do yourself a favor. Don't be that dude that sings it like he's from the country. My big brother rode an Indian scout, black like his jacket. Don't do that. To yourself. I know there's a lot of YouTubers I see, a lot of people out there, they put on this country thing. Now, we may tend to imitate a little bit. I know I'm kind of guilty of that. I know, especially when I do Dylan. Sometimes I'll tend to be too, people like, Frank, stop, it happens. But try to be aware of it. Try to use your own voice. Use it as a way to find your own voice, right? Just like our daddy. Especially when you say the word daddy. You don't want to be just like our daddy. If you're from New York, you don't say it that way. Kick-started that bike, C sharp minor, one night, A, and broke mama's heart, E, pointed that headlight west, A, B, out where the wild things are. Okay, second verse, I call them up every couple of weeks, A, in South California, talk about the desert and the Joshua tree, again, pretty girl stories. How we bought an Airstream cello, G sharp minor, and a J45, A guitar. Said, little brother, you'd love it out here, A, B, out where the wild things are. Now, the chorus part, again, we go high. So, you don't want to be painted into a corner when it gets to, whoa, 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 it's hearts on fire and crazy dreams. So, C sharp minor. Whoa, A, it's hearts on E, fire and crazy dreams. Whoa, whoa, the nights ignite like gasoline. Always a relaxed, never a tight throat, okay? You want to think of the sound coming straight up, almost straight up the back of your throat. You don't want to be leaning out, no. Whoa, if you need to reset, whoa, then you do that, okay? So, whoa, the nights ignite like gasoline and light up those streets, A, that never sleep. This is an E with a G sharp in the bottom, so you get this, right? Light up those streets that never sleep when the sky goes dark, F sharp minor, out where the wild things are, alright? And light up those streets that never sleep when the sky goes dark, out out where the wild things are. Okay. Then it goes into the second verse. Same thing. I called them up from the back of that plane. Okay, next part is the bridge. Couple loud horse rebels, hey, while there's the devil, I knew I had to move back east. Again, knew I had to move back east, east. You know, you don't want to have to push. So even with a non-warmed up voice where I'm at now, I'm not going to push. I'd rather not hit the note right now than push. Just because it's bad practice to do that. Say goodbye to my brother. The end of that summer, I knew he'd never leave. Whoa. And it goes right back into the whoa. It's hearts on fire and crazy dreams. And then the whole outro part is just this repeat. Whoa, the nights ignite like gasoline. Whoa, them Indian scouts, man, they're built for speed. Whoa, they said he hit that guardrail at 3:30. Back to the A, that walk down where the sky go dark. We buried him out in the wind neath the West Coast stars. Not where the wild things are. Luke Combs. Great tune to add. Now I need a third one. So please, I've got 2 songs. I still need one more. You got any suggestions? Something modern, country, something solo acoustic friendly, something Frank friendly. You guys know me by now, right? I hope so. If you have it, drop it in the comments. And even though I didn't grow up with this genre, I'm learning that good songwriting is just good songwriting. And there's a ton of it in today's country. So thanks in advance for the suggestions. Let's keep building this set list together. Go down in the description. Download my set list that I have right now, my complete song list. I'll give it to you for free. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.